Hello and welcome to Zeitgeist. Joining me as well until we get thrown off the air, Sam playing the grumpy old soldier Jack.
He's taciturn.
Catherine,
is a fancy word for grumpy.
Catherine playing the maybe she'll hit something this session gunslinger Mina.
Oh shit!
Look, firing guns on boats is hard.
She hit
James, that I'm gonna turn into a different kind of bird, druid Ilferi.
Bird is the worst kind of form.
I mean, it's much less threatening than a panther on a boat. Let's be and just as fast.
Dude, I hope the asylum makes Panther on a boat.
And Carter playing our sneaky stab lockpick rogue Zeodor.
Excuse me.
Zeodor.
Yes, thank you. Also, I haven't stabbed anything.
Yeah, you actually did shoot something last time and hit.
I
Yeah.
thought you stabbed a halfling.
No, I slashed the halfling.
Oh. With a rapier?
Sneaky slash. Sorry.
It's a saber. It's a rapier on the sheet, but
yeah,
it's a saber.
It is exactly the same, except change the damage type because
Gotcha.
damage types hardly matter in this edition.
Yeah, they really don't.
And if it ever does come up, then I don't probably give a fuck. Anyway, last time
Should my roll 20 be blank? Oh god, no. All right, never mind. Hold on, I fixed it.
Good.
I was zoomed super far in and didn't realize it.
Last time, our constables boarded a ship and thwarted, is a loose term, a plot to blow said ship up. But they did manage to.
Is the ship blown up?
The ship is not blown up. Everybody who had been aboard was successfully rescued and evacuated, including the king, who had some sort of glitch with his teleportation. And you stopped the ship from blowing up, but I believe we know who had set things in motion to have it blown up.
Yes.
Yes, most directly it was
Duchess Evelyn of Shale.
Indeed.
Yeah, well, it was her handmaid,
Yes.
Sokana Rel, but the Duchess was clearly involved.
The Duchess did not leave under duress.
No, she
Correct.
pieced out.
So
Correct.
it was either
On a
her or
Kraken.
shapeshifter, which is what I'm going to tell.
And in your debriefing, you tell your story of what occurred to Delft and Principal Minister Lee, who, if you recall, is the king's right-hand man.
And bodyguard.
And bodyguard, to some extent. He's at least a very powerful magician. The king takes a moment to personally listen to you. If any of you want to have any personal input on telling the story, you can go ahead.
Well, since Zeodor was the only one to see it, he would be the one to say, Sorry, I'm trying to get back in Zeodor's voice. Sir, meaning no disrespect to your sister, I believe she orchestrated the event. I saw her leaving on the back of what appeared to be a very large squid-like creature.
That actually explains a lot. It seems as though she's being aided by Bashella. That would explain why I couldn't get away. You can roll me either nature or arcana. I believe Ilferi, you would recognize Bishala as a minor, or not really minor, an archfey actually, who is under, what's the name of the?
She who rides.
She who writhes.
Real quick.
14.
What'd you get?
Real quick, is everyone else using their fancy metal dice?
Yes.
No,
Yeah, I
but
guess.
That's because I only have one.
Why?
I start to pull it.
Because if everyone
Whoa,
was
shit!
Uh-oh.
we good?
Are you okay?
My monitor just collapsed
No.
and spilled water all over
That
my
doesn't
books.
sound ideal. Oh shit!
We'll be right back, except he can't control the stream right now.
Well, it's fine. Just vamp. I'm gonna go get my metal
Sam's
dice.
film reviews. Over the weekend,
Well,
I watched
I'm gonna get a
Camera,
towel.
which was a mildly decent horror flick of just mousy girl dies and then gets brought back by witchcraft, and now she's sexy and takes revenge on the people that killed her.
Sure.
It was fine. And then I watched The Perfection on Netflix, which was a pretty good horror thriller. I can't really say a lot about the plot without kind of spoiling it, but it revolves around cellists and the school where they are trained and the sins of the past and jealousy and bugs. It's got some good stuff to it.
Carter, what were you saying about our fancy metal dice, though?
Oh, I was just saying that if everyone was using their fancy metal dice, then I would go get my fancy metal dice.
Oh, that's right. I have fancy metal
You do
dice.
have fancy metal dice. I
I
bought
for-
them for our Iron Anniversary.
I forgot I had them. I will-
So that we can all feel inclusive in the fancy metal dicing.
I have 2 sets of fancy metal dice.
Well, aren't you just special and shiny?
No, I just went to Gen Con twice.
It
Seriously,
seems
I
like
bought 1 set last year and 1 set this year.
seems like good souvenirs.
Yep.
These are the ones Catherine got me for anniversary. They are pretty sweet. They're like heavy iron.
Mine, Dulce, chill out.
But Dad,
Mine were a Valentine's Day present from Derby.
Nice.
that's cool.
They
Catherine
were
has
very
dice superstitions, and I don't.
I
don't
do
have any
have some dice
superstitions.
superstitions. Not a lot. And I think that they actually have some actual validity to them. I always put the high number up because with like plastic dice, it's one of those things. If you let it sit for a real long time, gravity is actually going to move some stuff and it will be weighted in that direction. Not so much with the metal dice, but I still put them highest number up. But yeah,
Yeah, like barely.
I know. This one has a wolf head as the 20.
That's a very similar coloration to mine, actually.
Yeah. Mine's purple, like
Oh.
regular
We lost us all
copper.
our viewers at the start of the show. So.
We didn't have any
I
viewers
have-
at the start of the show. I don't know anyone who's ever actually caught the whole beginning.
No, I meant when this goes on YouTube.
Or we just cut it?
Oh, we edit that?
Yeah, we can't.
Yeah, because we haven't really done. Nothing's really happened.
We trim, like, beginning end stuff.
There we go.
I want to change my lighting, well, as long as we're doing tech stuff. Hear me.
I should set up lighting.
Number 12 is Mjolnir.
Oh, neat.
And
Yeah,
all of
man.
them have different symbols.
I just have white dice. They're neat. I got them because,
Yeah.
what's it, Flynmo was a very pure-hearted soul.
Let's see, other stuff. I recommend you read Berserk.
Yep.
I recommend you watch the 90s version of Berserk, not the new one. I recommend Irredeemable and Incorruptible. They are a fun comic book series that go together in one story arc.
Yeah, there we go.
He
Oh,
said
nice
Bichella. I'm actually gonna jump to the game stuff again. He said Bichella, right?
I heard
the-
Coachella.
I heard Bishella.
Okay.
Like Coachella.
I was looking up the Fate Titans because my character knows a bit about them.
It was an Archfey, though, not a Titan, right?
Yes, it actually mentions Bishella under She Who Rides the Archfey.
Mm.
It's like, for example, Bishella ensures Restoration ships can safely travel in exchange for regular gifts of appeasement.
Hey,
Which I
looks
would
like
know.
you guys figured stuff out on your own. Well, I was
did.
gone.
Little
You
bit.
managed to save your book.
Yeah, honestly, damage could have been worse. It kind of just like spilled my cup of water into my desk drawer where my books were sitting, and it kind of just spilled, like, glanced off the cover of the top book onto the floor. So, doesn't look like there's any damage or anything. Yes, so, Bishella, let's see, I asked you to make a check. What did you guys get?
I got a 14.
Okay.
Was it anybody?
Yeah, I mean, anybody who wants to... The king said a name of a thing, and if you may or may not have heard of it.
And what were our options for the roll?
Arcana or nature?
I'm not sure. I wasn't sure what I was rolling, but I rolled a nat 1, so I'm
Sure.
pretty sure.
Man, that wall is interesting, huh?
I rolled
I've never heard of the show.
a dirty 20.
Apparently.
Okay, so yeah, everybody but Zeodor has heard of Bishella before. As far as it's a Fey, Archfey entity that sailors often pray to, make sacrifices to that sort of thing. It's not one of the major Fey Titans or anything, but still pretty powerful.
Is this something that's specific to Resuri sailors, or would this be like?
No,
everyone?
this is pretty much an everyone sort of thing. Like, this is a being that does exist. It's not a belief held by certain.
Okay.
Certain people.
Then I've probably heard of this and just forgotten, given that I spent like 50 years on a boat.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, I had forgotten how much time you had spent at sea. Then I would have given you an automatic pass for that.
Was she a duchess?
Yes.
The king's
Duchess of
sister.
Shale.
Yeah. I believe you still have that player handout.
We do.
Yes.
So yes, the king kind of muses. Says something like, to be betrayed by one's own blood. I pray that fate doesn't fall upon any of you at any point.
I've been thinking our main problem is the ship, and not necessarily you.
Yes, she's always been a proponent of keeping the old ways and forsaking any technological advances, despite the fact that we have an former enemy just off our coast that if we don't keep up with, we probably wouldn't maintain our way of life for very long at all. But
She always been willing to pursue violence for that goal.
I think this is the first outright declaration that I've seen from her anyway.
Sire, I believe that this was an assassination attempt.
That
They
is...
attempted to prevent you from teleporting, and they attempted to destroy the ship. Did you receive any form of threat prior to this?
No, not directly. Not from her anyway. It's most troubling indeed.
And why would Bishella be working on her behalf?
That I do not know. I'll have to consult with my ministers and see if we can find anything out.
Well, I'm glad I were But I can't talk like a pirate really good.
Be glad I were able. Just be Bizarro.
Maybe that's not pirate talk. Maybe that's just how parrot people talk.
Yeah.
I'd be glad that I was there to at least assist you getting off the ship. Although throwing you overboard, not exactly my first plan.
I may be old, but I've still got enough strength to swim in the seas. At least everyone made it off safe and sound.
I can't say we aren't proud of that.
Well, you've certainly done your country a service today. And he kind of nods and then
All in the name of the Royal Homeland Constabulary.
Thank you, sire. And I bow.
Um,
Or whatever is appropriate, I don't know.
Yeah, bowing's good. So he goes off to talk with his minister. Delft comes and takes you aside to, and you guys kind of make your way back to shore.
And you said we were healed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, we were?
Yeah. The
Catherine has more than 3 hit points now.
Not good.
So the next day, the king gives he calls for people to come, and he gives a speech. He begins by recounting the trials Rashira has faced defending itself from Dinar, 4 wars that ultimately ended, that ultimately earned either side little but hardship. For centuries, my people have viewed the Dinarans as cursed and unnatural, while Dinarans in turn claim Rasuri are superstitious and primitive. But ironically, their latest efforts to arm for war have actually brought the 2 nations closer together. Dinar has significantly helped Rashur with its industrial revolution. And the people all cheer and clap for that. He goes on to say, I hope that my successor, whoever that may be, will not have to commit to another pointless war and the loss of many young men and women. And so, though I first started this arms race, I now intend to seek peace with my old and respected enemy, the sovereign of Dinar. And there's kind of a mix of like kind of gasps, some cheers, some jeers. And he goes on, in 1 year's time, I will convene a peace summit here in Flint to seal the proposed treaty I have, where I intend to marry a Dinaran. And at this, the people just kind of go all sorts of all levels of outrage and various levels. As you guys return to the RHC headquarters, and over the next see, how long does this? Over the next couple days, you kind of learn that the Duchess has been discovered to have fled back to Shale, and you're given have maybe a couple articles written about you guys in the papers, so you kind of achieve some brief fame. But Delft keeps you busy, conducting low-level interviews and filling out paperwork for search warrants and that sort of thing over the next few days. You may have journalists come to you for interviews. I don't know if any of you would be accepting of that.
Fuck off.
Absolutely, Nina would.
Yar, I have no problem with that.
Totally.
And then, about a week after the Cold Tongues launch, you're in the main RHC office in a late afternoon filling out paperwork. When one of your co-workers comes and tells you that Delft wants to see you all in his office.
Right away.
Yep.
Same shit, different day.
Jack. So the king said he's gonna marry someone from Dana, right?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be me? Like, I'm from there.
Are you royalty?
He's going to marry someone of... note.
My name was in the paper last week.
Are you royal in your lineage?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, if you can fake that, you're in.
Sweet. Alright, cool. New goal.
Get hit.
So, as you all make your way into Delft's office, this conversation, I presume, happening along the way.
On the way.
You walk in to find that Delft is not alone in his office. There is.
Is he
In
with
fact-
another new character portrait?
He is.
I love the
my
character
God.
portrait.
It's Aku, the shape-shifting master of darkness.
Wait, how'd you guess? Where?
Are we flung through a portal into the future?
Where his evil is raw.
I'm in.
Raw?
Yeah, his evil becomes the sun god Ra.
Yeah.
Obviously. It's like you weren't even paying attention to the
Oh.
intro.
Damn, the horns on that chick.
I was right, it is Aku!
You step in, and Delft introduces you to... This is Minister of Outsiders from Dinar, Laia Gier. She's dressed in a rich formal coat of red and purple, which is tailored to give what seems to be a lot of freedom of movement, fancy looking yet suited for a sword fight. And on her hip she does wear a rapier that seems to have some sort of mechanical device attached to the guard. And the sheath is thicker than what you would expect for a rapier.
Does it look like she's got gun parts on it?
No.
Okay.
It doesn't look like that.
And
But it
without,
is.
without
Sorry.
further introductions or anything, she turns to you and gestures to the table where she has arrayed 3 ivory towers, each 3 inches tall with a steel plate on the base. Next are 3 stone rings, 1 red, 1 green, 1 blue, each just slightly larger in diameter than the towers. Each ring has 3 strands of thread clipped to it, and each one of the 9 strands leads to a small silvery magnet, which can lead to the bases of the towers. Laia motions and says, "The 3 towers are about to be attacked. They must be reinforced by magic that flows like water from 3 portals. Fire mana is red, earth is green, water is blue. The wires are canals through which the mana flows. But if the mana streams cross, they'll destroy the respective portals. How do you arrange the portals, towers, and streams of mana so that each tower gets all 3 types of mana without any of the streams crossing? Delph looks impatiently amused by all this, but looks at you expectantly, as if saying to give the lady an answer so you can move on to the mission briefing.
Can the pools of magic be placed in the air?
She turns to you and nods her head.
I
No.
be
Zin?
following my commander's orders on this. That's what I be doing.
Then it seems to be a fairly simple arrangement. Because if the portals can be placed in the air, then Theodore clips the green ones on first, the blue ones on the other side, and then holds the red one up and clips them to the side.
And she kind of nods happily and says, "Thank you. Delph, you may continue."
Theodore places the red ring down carefully on top of the middle tower, so that on its side, so the tower's holding it up.
Delph kind of like sighs, rolls his eyes, and kind of goes, "Well, now that that's over with, we've received some intel of what's happening with the Duchess of Shale. The expected civil war that she seems to be trying to incite isn't materializing. Instead, the Duchess and some of her allies have seized a single island in the Yarosel archipelago known as the Axis Island. The Denarans have conquered the island 7 years past, but she seems to be trying to either dig out plots of Denaran involvement to continue the war or something. I'm not even entirely sure what she's planning there. Laia... yeah?
She said it was the Duchess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Given her previous actions, it seems likely that she may be interested in restarting the war.
That seems to be the case. I think it's something along her agenda to convince the people that the Denaran technology is not to be trusted. Laia chimes in and says there is a Denaran mining project on this island, as well as advanced steelworks, a shipyard, and a coastal military fort. The island is a key Denaran military holding, and the Duchess's attack might be seen as an act of war by the Denaran Congress. But I, as well as your king, would like to see the peace between our nations continue. And so I have asked for a forestallment of any aggressive actions from my country for 3 days.
So you're sending us in to take care of it?
Yes, I'm hoping that we can resolve this peacefully.
Has the forestallment been granted, or are we moving in blind, so to say?
Yes, I've convinced them to hold off until 3 days from now. If we can manage to pull her back and to your country's custody, she nods to Delft, then my country will not see this as an aggressive act by the whole of Russia.
And what be we trying to do? Just apprehend her? Or find out what she's looking for?
Apprehend her. Delft will fill you in on the details of the mission. And he steps up and says, we have a fleet of Rasuri ships with Marines on board that are prepared to assault the island in a few days. But if we can get a strike team in to open the sea gate, it'll make our job much easier and a lot fewer casualties. The Duchess has already taken control of the fort from the Dinarans, so we don't want to have a civil war on our hands.
And I take it we are this strike team.
Well, you're part of it.
I appreciate your confidence in us.
We've got an ace team based out of Shale that'll be coming in to help you get a foothold, and they'll be leading the majority of the infiltration. We want you there to help clean up, to investigate what exactly is going on there, and make sure that the Duchess is apprehended. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of chaos once the Navy comes in.
You don't say.
I see. A wise use of resources.
Are we to be taking orders directly from them then?
They are, I suppose, your superiors, but the mission should be laid out in a pretty concise way. But if anything does go wrong, defer to them. They've got more experience than you.
Some of you.
Was the island's named Axis?
Yeah, the Axis Island.
Axis Island. Okay.
And it is the island that is closest to the Avery Sea, so it is along the narrowest access between Reeser and Daenor. That's part of the archipelago.
Where's the map?
Oh, yeah, let me bring up the map real quick. Or have I not given you that map?
I don't think you've given us the map. I have
We started on that screen.
The world map.
We have the Flint map, but not the world map.
I have the player's guide open.
Yeah, let me just...
well, I was looking for it in the player's guide. I was actually asking where the map was in the player's guide.
Well, is it Charter Industrious?
Page 4.
But I can also copy it over here into Roll20 so everyone can see.
Yeah. That'll be appreciated.
Right, okay.
And let me just make it into a handout.
I'm looking through Shale.
Yeah, having the first few pages of the player's guide open is the only way that I can keep pronunciations, timeline, and map straight.
Guessing it's safe to assume I saw some action on Axis Island.
Yeah, let me tell you about that. You have heard of Axis Island. It's a very pretty location, lots of jungles and nice beaches. It's at the edge of the wild magic zone that surrounds Dinar's dead magic zone. So there are some weird happenings that have occurred there. I don't know how much time you would have spent there. There's not a lot of settlements there. It had never been inhabited. And just like you've heard stories from other soldiers that just like weird things happening, terrain shifting, spells backfiring, rock slides and tree falls happening too often to be coincidence.
Yeah, if there was any action, like big action there, then I might have seen it before I was part of the unit.
Yeah.
I mean, there probably wasn't a whole lot of big action because it's a decent strategic location, but the Yarosol wars were resource wars, and it's not one of the larger islands. It's one of the smaller ones.
It's way off. Yeah,
Alright,
around
so
here.
I might not have actually served there. Okay.
That's where I used to live.
Yeah, whether or not you were there, you definitely heard of it.
I know of it, yeah.
Yeah.
As far as the specifics go, you'll be boarding the Impossible ship, the RNS Impossible.
Oh, we were the captain of that.
Thought you might.
I met him. He was sweet. Yeah, we met him at the party. Were you not paying attention?
No.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah, that was Captain Rutger Smith.
Indeed.
Right?
Very into philosophy.
Argues with dwarves.
That's my druid name. Argues with dwarves.
Argues with dwarves.
The Impossible will rendezvous with the Naval Armada, which will wait offshore, out of sight. Well, the Impossible, with you and the other strike team aboard, will enter a cove off on the shore of the island under cover of darkness. We'll provide the team with some water-breathing scrolls to dive down and get into the cove. The infiltration team will secure a foothold and then signal you to join them. And from there, you'll find your way to the fortress itself. Now, the fortress is a pretty brilliant piece of engineering, very well reinforced and in almost any way impenetrable. But thanks to our friend here, we know of one weakness at least. And Laya says, there's a small section of the wall where it is possible to use a pass wall ritual to go through the outer wall. From there, you'll be pretty much trapped inside, but all you need to do is sneak past any of the soldiers there, find your way to the docks where the lighthouse and Seagate controls are, and let the Navy in.
Okay, for my notes, we go into the cove under the cover of darkness, and then from the cove we go to where, and then to the fortress?
From the cove to the fortress.
Okay, just from the cove straight to the fortress. All right, I thought I missed something. All right.
It'll be a bit of a trek, but they're not too far apart on the island, and it's not a very big island anyway.
And if we encounter resistance within the fortress?
Well, do your best not to, but and Delph chimes in and says, and if you do end up fighting any Risuri officers there, we'd appreciate it if you take prisoners.
Acknowledged.
I'm better at stealthing in my medium form than I am in like a tiny lizard. I'm looking at my wild shapes to see, like, do I have something good for infiltration? And no, I'm better off being a 5-foot bird. Still better off being a 5-foot bird.
Huh.
Can you turn into a weasel? They have pretty good stealth.
I take that back. The cat actually has proficiency in stealth.
That's what I thought.
I think weasels also have proficiency in stealth.
And regardless, a weasel or a cat would be more innocuous if someone did spot you.
Sure.
Yeah, well, that's why I was looking at, like, little lizard.
Yeah. Okay. So you have until sunset 3 days from now to hand the control of the island back over to Dinar. And Laya says to you, I make one final request. I have a cousin, Nathan, who has been stationed on the island. I don't know what may have become of him, but I'd ask that if you come across him, that you please take care of him and see him home safely.
What does he look like?
He is a tiefling. He, I suppose, looks very much like me. I need to refresh myself on what he looks like.
What's this horn configuration?
He's got more squat, pointy horns.
Okay.
And a square chin.
We get the picture of him. It's literally just her with short hair.
And a slightly squarer jaw.
Yeah.
Not even. She just says that without him to try to, like...
The makeup's just, like, contoured differently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just her in a wig. Actually, he's going to go for himself.
If you don't have any other questions, I have some other matters I must see to.
I think we'd be getting the gist of it.
Do we have any way to perform the passwall ritual?
Delph says, we've got a scroll that the minister cooked up that should be usable by just about anyone, even a non-magic user.
Excellent.
And we've got a few other supplies waiting for you.
That was it.
Laya gives one last nod to each of you and departs out of Delph's office. And then he turns to you and spits out a bit of tobacco and says, I've got a hunch there's more going on here than what the Dinarans are saying.
We were just talking to a Gier. Yeah, there's a lot more going on.
Well, at least we have you on hand to be aware of what the Dinarans can get up to.
See through the Gier bullshit.
Is Gier, that is her name, is that
It's a family.
special or?
It's a big family.
She's the niece of the sovereign.
The sovereign is Hangier.
Oh.
Who so you would all recognize that name.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
I live here, not a fan.
Well, if you don't have any other questions, we'll see you on the ship by the end of the day today. Take some time to get any last-minute supplies, and you can pick up your commission, or what's the word? See the quartermaster for your the mission critical supplies. Acquisitions.
Incorporated?
And this is the point where you all would have gotten your stipend. I'd given it to you a bit early. So if you have any other last minute mundane items that you'd like to acquire to get ready for this mission in particular, that would take less than a day, the quartermaster would have on hand.
Can I get some studded leather armor?
Sure.
We're not already in studded leather?
No, I didn't spend my money before this last. Shut up! Not the point.
You want some water?
Yes, please.
Do we? Is there any mundane item that
Well, what's good is it doing you there?
that would help me swim?
You could get like a snorkel, like a snorkel and a flipper set maybe.
Ooh, flippers would be good.
All right. Get you some flippers.
How much is that gonna cost me?
Let's say 10 silver.
Sweet.
I don't think that would be very rare.
Ah, damn! I can't even.
Prices, are we going by what's in the PHB?
Yeah, armor prices are standard.
I can't turn into a fish till next level. Damn.
Damn it!
Well, what's even the fucking point of being a druid then?
I just get some little wind bullshit.
Oh, and in your mission critical supplies, if somebody's ready to take notes.
Yep, I got it.
1 potion of water breathing. 2 potions of greater healing. 1 gem of brightness.
What's that do?
I believe it's just like a shiny rock.
Okay. One shiny rock. Got it.
Let me confirm.
Oh, cool.
Gem of brightness. It is a magic item. Has 50 charges. While you're holding it, you can use an action to speak one of 3 command words to get the following effects. The first causes it to shed bright light, 30-foot radius, dim for an additional 30. Does not expend a charge, lasts until you use a bonus action to stop it. Can expend a charge to cause it to fire a brilliant beam of light at one creature. You can blind them. You can spend 5 charges to flare in a cone and possibly blind them. So yeah, shiny rock.
Shiny rock.
Dangerously shiny rock.
We got shiny rock.
In party supplies. What else?
4 scrolls of fairy fire.
Yes.
2 of silence.
Ooh.
And 2 of pass wall.
I'll take 1 of each.
And these scrolls have been specially prepared that they can be cast by anyone.
Oh, all of the scrolls have?
Yes.
Cool. Then I won't take any scrolls of fairy fire, because I just prepare that spell.
Like I said, I'll take 1 of each.
Alright.
I'll take. Well, I don't really need scrolls.
I don't really need the scrolls, but I think you said potion of healing or something.
2 greater potions of healing, or potions of greater healing.
I could use one of the potions of healing. Based on our last encounter, it seems like Zeodor is one of the people that's getting fucked up.
Well, you actually one moment.
What?
I misread.
Oh.
Each PC will be given 1 potion of water breathing and 2 potions of greater healing.
Nice.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
And then-
I mean, you took that much damage because you blocked up the door and we couldn't get in. Like, that could have easily been me.
That was for less than half of a round.
True.
So-
Yeah.
It's like I took damage after that
Anyways.
because I was the only person doing melee.
Yeah.
So yeah, you each get the 3 potions. As a group, you get the gem and those scrolls.
Okay.
And I
Quick,
took one of each scroll.
quick question. How do you run potions in your campaign?
As
Is it
far
a full
as
action, or is it a bonus action to take a healing potion?
I'm just gonna stick with rules as written on this one, so I believe that's
So
an
it's a full
action. Yeah, I haven't experimented with it. If it, you know, if it becomes an issue, then we can revisit it. But
So, activate a magic item action.
I believe it's an interact with an object action.
oh,
It
is
is
it?
not.
Ah.
It's actually different because thief rogues cannot use magic items or potions as a bonus action.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
It is specifically activate a magic item.
Yeah, it isn't something I had considered.
I was just curious because some people run it as a bonus action and some do it rules as written, do it as a full action.
It's probably fine as a full action.
In my game, it's a bonus action to take it. It is a full action to administer it to someone else.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think I'll allow quaffing a potion as a bonus action. And if it becomes an issue, we'll, you know.
Go back to raw.
I'm guessing that doesn't include retrieving it though.
Well,
We have to,
retrieving
is-
would be an interact with object. Yeah.
Yeah, which is free for the first one.
Actually, yeah. Withdraw a potion from your backpack is one of the examples there. So.
Cool. Yep, that's what I thought.
All right. Any other questions, interactions, purchases?
Nope.
Let's see.
I think I'm good.
All right.
Not unless I can somehow get a handy haversack, but I know I can't. So
Not yet. All right. That evening, the RNS Impossible, a 220-foot-long clipper, leaves Flint's Harbor and turns west. The captain, Rutger Smith, he remembers you from the evening aboard the Coal Tongue. He when you guys step aboard, he nods at you happily and says, "Well, let's hope that nothing as dire as what happened the other night happens aboard our ship on this journey."
We are very good at our jobs.
But with you aboard, at least we'll get everyone safe. We get everyone back safely, one way or the other.
I have a quick out-of-character question. Do Risuri ships like this have a place, like, do they regularly have Skyseers? I feel like they do.
Yes, and this one in particular does have a Skyseer on board. You would recognize them almost right away if you were looking for it.
Okay. I wasn't sure if these ships were the same in that regard.
Yeah.
Cool.
This one in particular does. It may not be on every ship. Might, you have to pay them, and they're, can be hefty sum depending on how skilled they are.
but it is pretty common for bigger ships, from what I remember. Which, I mean, makes sense. You want someone who can tell the future and probably has a druidic scent when you're on a boat.
That's why my former tutor was kidnapped, kind of.
And as you all set out to sea, true to what you know of Captain Smith thus far, he does like to discuss philosophy with his crew, especially during meals. He has a couple of debate friends. He definitely seems to favor the teachings of William, what was his name? William Moore, I believe.
No, we went to high school with William Moore.
And
William Miller.
William Miller, that's it, yeah. And has friendly chats with his crew. And on this mission in particular, he kind of is musing over the Duchess's actions, and he's kind of like, well, is it right for one to incite war in order to bring about the peace that they believe in? He doesn't really take a stance one way or the other on that, but he's posing the question.
Her heart be in the right place, probably. I only got to know her a little bit, or talk to her a little bit, but she seemed a fairly rational folk.
Not how sure how I feel about that.
Well, she had the right sentiment about ships, anyways.
Tried to kill everyone on one. That's great.
I just I looked at, there's a blurb on the Impossible in the favor section, and the class of this boat is Extreme Clipper, which I just find entertaining.
And one of the reasons they say it's an Extreme Clipper is guided by their Skyseer and a druid to help the winds. The Impossible is able to sail the 500 miles to the Axis Island in just under 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if Elferi, you would have stepped in to help at all, but
Oh, absolutely.
they have a druid who's just like billowing the sails almost non-stop that entire time, and the Skyseer at night is charting the course.
Is the Skyseer and the Druid the same person?
No, it is two different people.
Oh. So I want to get to know them both.
But I want to know them both!
Which means Ilferi actually gets very little sleep on this run. It's fine. Like, he gets enough sleep, especially because he has to sleep to Skype at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a druid using wind magic like I did, and a Skyseer navigating the ship's course, which I've done, but not to this degree.
Yeah.
It's,
so it's like watching a master.
yeah. And honestly,
or two
like,
masters.
it's what they were trying to do in the first place. Like, they wanted their own Impossible.
Yeah. In addition to them, we also have the Infiltration team that is on board with you all. We have Tanya, the half-elf druid with a hound companion.
Nice.
She seems to be the leader of the group, confident but cautious. She likes to double check her team's gear, make sure everything's in order before start of each day. We have...
I'm sure nothing bad will happen to them.
We have Letmus, the human mage, who is excellent at faking accents. He has a moment where when you meet him, he responds to you each in your own native accent.
Yar!
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 Yar! We have 7-foot Dan. He was a towering human gladiator with a spike chain.
Does he have 7 feet, or is he 7 feet tall?
He's about 7. He's at least very tall. He's much taller than you, anyway.
He's like
Well,
6.
yeah. Most people are very much taller than me, so...
He's a veteran of the 4th Yersol War. He offers you lessons in breaking stuff and carries a bag full of bricks and wooden boards for that purpose.
I don't want to do that. That sounds like a good way to break my hollow
What was his
bones.
name again? 7 foot
That's
what?
breaking stuff. Dan,
7-foot Dan.
does anyone want lessons in breaking stuff?
I would like to know what the other people on board are, but maybe if no one is more entertaining, like
Mina,
if no one else is more entertaining, then Theodore's going to be in on the break stuff lessons.
Mina, 7-foot Dan does spend one afternoon giving you some breaking stuff lessons, and by the end of the day, you're able to crack through a wooden board.
I am amazing. Look at my skills.
And it probably is a good thing you held out, Zeodore. Because last we have Burton, the goblin spy, who carries a fancy surgical kit containing many varieties of daggers, knives, saws, and scalpels.
Okay.
According to Letmus, Burton once camped in the Denoran latrine for 3 hours to get a shot at the commander of an enemy company, and ever since then he's worn an amulet that constantly cleans him as the spell Prestidigitation.
Practical. I like him. Let me check something real quick.
Mm-hmm. Do I have a picture of the
Did they
impossible?
all serve in the war?
Just Dan and Burton.
Oh, wait a minute.
Do I have a picture of the impossible?
Which one was Burton again?
Burton
Goblin
is the
spy.
goblin.
Oh, okay.
I meant to change one of my language proficiencies. Is it alright if I quick?
I don't mind.
Okay.
We're still under
Sorry,
level 5.
So, real quick, Tanya was what race?
Half elf.
Half-elf druid.
That's what I thought. And
With a
Letmus is
doge.
What?
A human mage. Ooh.
And 7-foot Dan.
Human.
That's what I thought.
Just a real big one.
They list his, like, it's half-elf druid, human mage, human gladiator? I don't know, or maybe that's a,
That is a stat block.
yeah, that might be a monster stat block.
Stat blocks, because there's a mage stat block and.
Okay, yeah. And goblin spy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. All right, so, you
I
all.
will
Mhm.
speak to him in Goblin.
He responds in kind.
I don't know what that means.
What's an issue?
Nice Diablo 2 reference.
All right. So you all they spend time on those 2 days also planning getting the plan down with you with how they're going to approach this. Litmus takes you all, all 8 of you, aside the day before you arrive, or I guess the morning before you arrive, and goes over with you. The plan is that this evening we'll hoist black sails and reach the cove around 9 p.m. low tide. Once we arrive at the sea cave entrance, I'll cast water breathing for me and my team, and we'll go under into the cave and make sure the coast is clear. We'll bring a length of rope with us and use it to signal back to you once it's safe for you to come in. Then, once you're inside with us, we'll make our way to the mine exit, which is a low mountain facing an island, valley in the island.
Okay. 2 tugs for trouble, 1 tug for safe?
Sounds good enough. We'll make our way from the mine entrance to the fortress. Actually, I think I can just go ahead and share the island map with you now.
Well, while we're doing that, are there pictures of this A team?
I don't think I copied them over.
Ah, shit, they're gonna die.
You don't know that.
They have no pictures. They have monster stat block.
They don't have last names.
Wow, you guys are so pessimistic.
I hope
Chucky,
everyone said
shooting
their
my
final
chair?
farewells to 7 Foot Dan, because he ain't coming back.
It's very rude of you to assume that 7 Foot Dan wouldn't make it out of this alive.
He's coming back in a 4-foot bag.
Where is the... Did I not...
Actually, would this I'm asking kind of for a meta reason, but is it possible that we could have gone over this before nightfall? Like before we rested for the night?
Oh, for the purposes of your feature?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... yeah, I mean, you would have had a pretty decent idea of what to expect before this moment.
Okay, so once we go over this plan, I'll ask the question as I asked it the last night.
Sure. Alright, so there's our island map. I'm just gonna stick it on here.
Yep.
So you'll be coming in Sea Cave here, and making your way to the fortress here. Once we get to the fortress... Oh.
Do these letterings mean anything you're aware of?
No,
Or
it's
are
just
they for later?
it's the only picture of the island I have. So
Oh, got it. Cool.
they are not on the map you're looking at, I'll say.
Got it.
Once we get to the fortress, we'll use the pass wall scrolls to breach the walls, infiltrate, get to the sea gate, and signal our navy with a fairy fire bolt. And she kind of motions to Burton, who hefts a crossbow. And that's about all there is that we know going in, anyway.
Where do the cave be letting out?
It's by our intelligence, it leads into a mine that opens into the valley that we see here, in the middle of the island.
So we'll have to trek around past the mountains to the coast.
Well, that'd be probably the safest way to. We either go cross country across the mountains and risk that terrain, or we go the long way around and risk being spotted. I'm open to.
You said going through the mountain range is one of the options?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know my question.
To decide when we get there.
Stealth seems to be our number one concern. It seems mountain climbing.
Do you mind if I ask my question now? Since
Sure.
we're discussing what kind of dangers would we face in the mountains?
Okay. You see in your vision last night, concentrating on that question, you see flaming trees. You see a rock slide. You see a strange landscape with a sky you don't recognize with a blue sun. And you see a mechanical bipedal beast.
And all of the except for the landscape seems to be like within the mountains.
You don't have a lot of context.
Okay, I
There's just
wasn't
kind of
sure if
flashes
there was,
of images.
Like, yeah. Well, they're need to get. I would figure my character would know how to interpret these a little bit better.
I figured you were trying to figure out how to explain the vision without immediately convincing Zeodor and Mina that we had to go into the to find the mechanical two-legged beast.
Obviously there'd be some dangers going into the mountains. Rock slide seems to potentially be in our future if we be going that way, as well as maybe some sort of mechanical monster of some sort. It might be dangerous, but I don't know if we can really risk the time. At least we can be slightly forewarned of what we're getting into.
There is a mechanical threat that would not fit with the intelligence we have. If so, we must investigate.
Well done.
It does go against what the Duchess believes in, it does go against the Duchess's beliefs. It would be surprising to see something like that.
Remember
In her employ.
the island is Denarn controlled. Chimes in Latimus.
So it might just be an active sentry in the area?
Shrugs.
Danny's have used constructs before. I wouldn't be surprised to run into one.
I like that, Danny's.
I don't.
But you're not one, Mina.
Yeah, but you don't have to be something to have words hurled at you and
Sure.
Look, she resembles that.
She resembles that remark.
The mountains seem the way. 7 foot Dan, you seem like a climber.
7 feet tall.
Can you be breaking mountains like you be breaking bricks?
Not that.
We punch the mountain and split it in half.
The biggest rock I broke was about this big.
So just like a dozen times.
It's not. Can I? I
Maybe.
think you. Are you an experienced climber? Or are any of you?
I can hold my own. He says, kind of flexing.
Not be afraid of falling. Much.
This seems like a plan then.
Also, I guess be aware of trees on fire. Those are relatively avoidable, I think.
It's just generally good advice for life.
Wait. Oh, yes. Was this part of your vision, or is this just a fear of fire trees?
It was a good reminder of, in my vision, of something that is just good life advice.
I see. Yes. Just helpful life advice visions, of course. Like, do your best. You are burning star. That's what.
All right,
Yeah.
well, I suppose we have our plan in order then. Make any last-minute preparations you need, and see you at 9.
I maintenance my guns.
Hey!
Is it just me, or is everyone kind of breaking up a little bit?
I've been missing a word here and there.
Yeah, not on my end.
Ah, shit.
You know,
Give me
I'm
just 1 minute.
breaking
I'm
up 'cause I
gonna
can't decide what voice Jack should have, but
I'm gonna hang up and call back.
Oh no,
Goodbye.
he screwed up the whole overlay. Oh no, it's back.
Hooray, he fixed the whole overlay. Good job, James, you fixed the overlay.
I be a technological genius!
Helper just, like, turns.
Alright.
I can't be using guns, but, you know. Cool, we're gonna climb a mountain. So I guess I need some climber's gear, which I don't know if I requisitioned.
I think I did.
We can say that they have some stuff on board you can use.
I've got a grappling hook and block and tackle, so I'm good.
I have 50 feet of silk rope, 50 feet of hemp rope, but I don't have pythons or hammers.
Burton's got you covered. He pulls out some of that stuff from his kit.
Cool.
Always be prepared.
yeah, I got rope, pythons, and a hammer.
I've got rope.
I've got rope, grappling hook. Alright, I already spoke. Never mind.
Every adventure in the world starts with rope. 50 feet of hemp. If you don't have 50 feet of hemp, then you're probably a special fancy person. You have 50 feet of silk.
Or you smoked it.
I'm a special fancy person.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
I have
I mean-
both.
You were given a lot of money at the start, so.
Yeah, I didn't really see any reason to take the downgrade.
Just wait. I think
Is
that's
silk
amazing.
superior?
Silk weighs half as much and is generally, it has more hit points. Or no. Actually, just, it weighs half as much. It used to be stronger too, but now it's not.
Cool. So you all, as night approaches, the crew hoists the black sails, and you all can, well, no, you probably wouldn't be able to see the island. You might have seen it as the sun was setting on the horizon, but
How far away is it?
maybe a few miles off at this point. Still,
Are we gonna be
you're
doing
approaching it still.
Were we going to be doing exploration at night or just going through that cave at night?
Getting as far as you can at night.
Okay.
You have until next sunset.
Tomorrow night.
I was asking for the sake of my prepared spells because I was planning on switching them around for what we were doing and needed to know that.
All right, so yeah, finalize your spell list now.
Yeah. I don't think we need water.
Contestants, finalize your spell list now.
It does sound like something out of a
Righty and
D&D
lefty.
game show.
My 2 spells.
I want this game show. I don't know what the rest of this game show is, but I want.
I feel like I would rather stab myself in the foot than watch this game show.
Oh, we didn't say anything about watching it. We said designing it, I think.
Oh no, I want to watch it.
Okay.
I don't want to see that much concentrated, awkward virginity in one room.
Quick.
Look, just because Sam is a joyless, heartless bastard doesn't mean the rest of us have to be.
Yes,
It's
James.
true.
Oh, never mind. I will not prepare that. Fish are considered beasts, right? For animal messenger?
Yeah.
Like, normally people are like, it's squirrels and birds, but like,
Yeah,
fish.
fish works.
But it has to be to an area that I've been to before, not just a person I'm familiar with, so, that won't work for sending messages forward.
Just like the idea of a fish popping out. Yo, what's up, motherfucker? Listen.
All right.
Now I kind of want a thief druid so that he can send animal messengers that speak in thieves' camp.
Oh shit.
That'd be pretty cool.
All right. Let's.
I'm preparing one last spell. Don't worry about me.
Okay. So you guys pull up to the sea cave entrance. There's supposedly a 200-foot stretch of submerged cave before the opening with fresh air at the bottom of the mine. So the infiltration team takes a 500-foot length of rope. Then let Miss cast the water breathing team for actually, how many people can that cover?
I have no idea.
I think it's like 6.
Yeah.
Up to
water
10,
breathing spell.
actually.
All right, so yeah, she can cast it for you all as well, so you don't have to use your potion yet.
Sweet.
Hell yeah.
For
And 24 hour
hours.
duration. Wow,
Hell
Which
yeah.
that's better than I thought it was. That's a conflict.
Why? Just tell us all the secrets.
Yeah, okay.
it's fine.
So let's just say that her spell casting isn't as strong, and the version of the spell that she knows will last for about an hour.
Okay. I mean, we're also in weird magic zone, so.
That's true. And with that, they prepare to go overboard and kind of turn to you with one last look and say, we'll signal you when we're ready for you.
Aye.
And I like hold up the rope to show we're watching it.
All right. The first quarter moon shines down as the infiltrators dive overboard and swim for the sea cave, trailing rope behind them. According to the estimates, it should take less than 5 minutes for them to get through. But about 2 minutes after they go overboard, a strange vibration wave ripples the water around the spot where they went down. The rope goes slack.
It's dark
And-
out, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a quarter moon, so not much. There are obviously no lights on board or anything.
I give the rope a quick tug. Is it completely slack? Or does it go taut?
it had gone slack, but then it starts jerking frantically.
Something's got the rope.
I think that's more than 2 tugs.
Go time.
I'm gonna cast Dark Vision on myself.
Okay.
And Theodore has the flippers on because it would be dumb not to.
Yeah.
And into the water.
Into the water?
Yep.
Into the water.
Alright.
Oh, who has the shiny rock, the gem of brightness?
I thought it was you because you were writing it down.
Oh, I
I
was writing it down so we knew what we had.
Right. Who would you have given it to?
Probably
Anyone that
humans.
can't see in the darkness. So one of you two, yeah. Oh, no, sorry, I take that back. The human.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 60-foot dark vision. We good.
Alright.
Yeah. And I just gave myself dark vision.
Alright. Going under.
I'll had like the gem on like a necklace, and I'll wrap it around my hand.
Alright, yeah, sounds good. When you dive down, you can see the tunnel, the sea tunnel, coming out of the base of the island, and at the entrance, you see what looks like a large pile of, well, very large boulders that look to have recently shifted, and caught under one of the boulders you see Burton with one of his legs trapped. You see blood spilling out from him, and you see blood spilling out from other cracks in the boulders.
I'm going to wave over the person with the strength.
Mm-hmm.
Or does water breathing let us talk underwater?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jack!
I'm swimming.
Ah! It was
Apparently lets us scream underwater too. All right,
it was so weird. I saw a swamp with yellow frogs and a purple sky, and then the ceiling cracked.
Oh.
I didn't really know how to describe that. I mean, how can you really warn someone about a foreign landscape like that?
You gotta.
That was in regards to
fairness-
climbing the mountain.
Also, in fairness, even if you had told us that, I don't think any of us would have expected this to happen. That seems kind of
Does it look like I could shift this boulder without causing the rest of them to fall?
It would be very difficult.
Alright, we're cutting off Burton's leg.
Yeah,
I was gonna...
whoever's closest to him, he grabs them and says, "You gotta cut my leg off before the sharks come."
Okay. I'm gonna cut his leg off with my saber.
Oh, so we can speak underwater, so we can cast spells too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's not really worth a second level spell slot yet, though.
I mean, unless someone is stopping me. I'm
Oh
not
no,
cutting his leg off.
it was a healing.
Oh no,
spell
we're
I was
all on
thinking
board
about.
for cutting off his leg.
Oh yeah, no,
I
he
can't-
put like an unlit torch in his mouth for him to bite down on.
Saber out, like leg off.
Well,
He says leg off. He knows
yeah.
better than me. I was told to listen to him. Leg
That is
off.
consent right there.
I have my hands under his armpits, ready to yank him back as soon as his leg is free.
Alright.
Can I at least like cut it at the knee so it's not so bad? He'll have like just below the knee, so he's got like a chance.
Oh no,
at being a
the
peg.
knee's trapped.
Oh, all right. Well, fuck it then.
Yeah.
Look, having 3 limbs isn't that bad.
Says
All
the
right.
man with 4 limbs.
He's
That's the
got
man with
3.5.
3 limbs. 3 limbs
that's
that
true.
work.
That's true. That's true.
All right, so you guys cut off Burton's leg.
What about the others?
He kind of glances at the pile of rock. I don't think they made it.
Rocks fall, the party dies.
I knew we should have gotten their picture.
All right.
Well, we can save
Let's
the
get
one.
Burton back to the boat and reassess our options.
Well,
Makes sense.
we might as well see if there's another route down here while we have water breathing active.
Not to mention, Burton did mention sharks. We
I
shouldn't
can-
waste time.
Well,
Okay, well, I'm swimming Burton back to the boat. You guys look around.
Okay.
Yeah, once his leg was free, I had him under the armpits. I was
Sure.
already gonna start
Yeah,
swimming
yeah.
him towards the surface.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm gonna
so
help
yeah.
her do that.
Yeah, you two swim him back. We'll scout ahead. Meet us back here as quick as possible. Hopefully, you
Yep.
beat the sharks.
see, it doesn't take you too long to just resurface. The crew on the ship is able to lower down a rope and lift Burton back up. Unless either of you had a reason to go back on board.
Nope.
No.
Good job. Bye. Swim, 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 swim.
And you rendezvous back at the mouth of the sea tunnel.
Hell yes, she is singing as she swims.
As you swim into the secret tunnel,
Secret tunnel. Okay.
Swim, 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 swim. Secret tunnel.
all right, there we go.
In the ocean.
All right. Is everybody going through the tunnel now?
Yeah.
Is it still open?
I go through the tunnel
It was a-
cautiously.
Big enough tunnel that the rocks kind of settled on the outside, without hampering the ability to move through it.
Then yeah, we'll go
Yep.
in cautiously.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep my eye out for anything moving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking for sharks. Let's be real here.
I'm looking for not sharks. I'm looking for
I think the
more-
sharks are busy. I'm going to keep my ears out for more rock.
I'm looking for her giant squid.
Oh
I
shit!
don't think it's going to be in here. It might be in here, but I don't think it's going to be in here.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think that would fit here.
Well, you guys make it through the rest of or through the what do you call it? Cave. Tunnel.
Cave.
Tunnel. Without any other that sounds weird for some reason.
I'm not going to point out why. Sam, you don't do it either.
This is a
Well,
family
actually, so there's a
stream.
fascinating reason why we have certain curse words. It's because of the marriage of the French and British language that came with the Norman conquest of England.
And why do you know that?
Because you.
Thank
Because
you.
he just made it up. Oh.
No, it's 100%
Very
true.
true.
It's actually fascinating, and I'll tell you when we're playing D&D.
All
There's
right.
certain words for cow and beef.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Actually, I have heard about
that's
that.
because the.
All right, not
that was
right now.
eaten by the aristocracy.
Not right now.
But chicken was eaten by
Another
the
time.
Come on.
1066 in the Norman Conquest.
It really is one of the most important events in world history, Chris.
Allow me to pull a chart.
Sure it is. All right. I'm gonna pull up this cave.
Is it a chart? I love charts.
Rocks are gonna fall on us, and we're all gonna die.
And then we're going to talk about how the Normans became the Normans.
I have a quick question regarding the game.
Okay.
That's not allowed. I'm sorry.
You know, we're not allowed to talk about the game.
How would Gust of Wind or like the Gust cantrip work underwater? Does it make like a little, well, like a big bubble, or does it instead do water currents?
I would think
water
bubble.
currents.
Okay. Just a big, like,
Because I mean, you're summoning wind, right? Which is
Yeah,
air.
so it's a
I guess
big
it's a
pocket of-
question of whether you're summoning air or you're moving the material
or if I'm
around you.
creating a current of- yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, he's the DM. Bubble just seemed busted to me. Because Gust is a cantrip, and that seems like a lot of power.
Well, I
on a
have
cantrip.
Gust of Wind as well, the spell.
Yeah, I think
Sure,
a current
like-
does make more sense actually. Now that I think about it, because it's more likely that you are moving the air that's existing when you use it in the air, more likely than it is that you're creating air.
Yeah, I don't think I'm creating air.
Okay.
I do have a create water spell,
Yeah.
but there's not really an equivalent for air.
Yeah.
Is there a higher res picture of this map? Because I
No.
can see that there are height numbers on it. I just...
It's the best I could do.
I'll just ask about the height numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't actually put a version of this map in the 5th edition printout, and I went and found it in the old 4th edition one. But the best I could do was screenshot it from the PDF I have of the other one. So, yeah.
I see. Oh, you're labeling them. That's
I am.
lovely. Thank you.
Oh, hey.
No, that works.
Someone else is doing it for me.
From
Your
what I
eyes are
can
better than
read.
mine. Because
All right, and
there's something I can
then
guess at. Because like I know there's one here, but
I need to
don't know
grab
what it says.
your.
Look, it says plus 11. And I don't think that's right.
Where are your tokens?
Okay, so I think I got him right.
But there's also the 3 I can see 0, -5, 10 down here. There's also one here. It's plus 15, plus 25, something like that.
Yeah. Oops. That one?
Yeah.
I didn't vet this ambience, so I hope it's not anything too
Just
weird. But I
start
think
screaming.
it's called Goblin Cave, and I think I hear some goblins now. But whatever.
Yeah, fine.
All right, but here's the question: what would be worse, screaming or moaning?
Depends on the moaning.
Smoning.
You know exactly the moaning.
Moaning. All right. You find yourselves in a cave. The 80-foot by 60-foot high cave at the end of the tunnel has no light sources, but the air is pleasantly warm despite being underground. A low tide, when you arrive, the water at the bottom of the cave is 10 feet at its deepest and just a few inches at the shallowest. Wooden platforms anchored to the walls make a makeshift dock and stairs which lead up. How far does your light?
We can see the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah.
It's 30 feet of light, 30 feet of dark vision,
Okay.
and then, or dim light, and then all 3 of us have 60 feet dark vision, I think.
Okay. So.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the whole thing. Because from where I am, that's everything but the back.
Okay.
And I'm
yeah,
the furthest
that seems
back.
about right.
So we can't see like these edges. Or
Yeah,
So
that's
we
fine.
will have to go around like this.
Yeah, so that's the shallow part of the water. So that would be the easiest way to get from water to the dock. A 20-foot diameter pillar of dull gray rises from the water line to the ceiling.
Is that this?
Yes. A dramatic splinter of white marble extrudes from the gray stone, 5 feet wide and rising 17 feet above the water. Ages of have eroded the surface. Well, we'll get to that if you get to it.
Unless we die in the water.
Unless you die in the water.
Hey guys, want to see who can hold their breath the longest?
We all have water
We be
breathing
breathing
on, right?
water right now, boy.
I would imagine that each of you would hold your breath for about an hour plus 30 seconds or so.
I mean, I guess theoretically you could hold your like it lets us breathe water, but
Yeah,
you
we
could
can still hold our
hold your
breath.
breath still. I don't know why you would.
You unimaginative fucks.
All right.
Seems dumb, but we could.
What are your...
So I didn't say that in character, Jake.
Sure. I'm
Yes.
just having fun. I'm not. Whatever.
There's no fun allowed in D&D.
Oh darn! I had no
Your
idea.
fun is wrong.
Your fun is wrong. I like that.
Does that count as kink shaming?
Depends on what we're talking about.
Are you gonna make me wear a "Your fun is wrong" shirt next to a Gen Con?
I like it.
I mean,
passive
if you
perception.
do, and I go with you, I will wear a shirt as my wrong is fun.
Okay.
I feel like this is just getting into us being this weird gay couple at Gen Con.
Ilferi.
I mean, you know you want it.
You spot up in the higher reaches of the cave, so like up in this kind of area, you spot a shadowy figure lurking that quickly flees up the tunnel beyond where you can see.
We be being watched. Is that how pirates would say it? Well,
Sure.
whatever. That's how I said it.
That's how fantasy pirates would say it.
That's how a fairy would say it.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah, we're being watched. Someone just scampered off over there. We should hurry in.
Great. I'm gonna make my way to that platform over here.
I am also making my way over there.
Oh, I'm gonna go to this one.
Chris,
Yeah.
one question real quick.
Okay.
Is this number right? This elevation where we've got plus 15?
You might have correct 45.
Yeah, that's probably more likely 45. Let me see if I can
Okay.
see it any better in the source. Wow, yeah, it's even shitty quality there. Actually, it looks like 35. So I think the same elevation as this platform here.
Okay.
Okay, and slightly below this platform?
I think this one is actually 30.
Okay.
Okay, so it's slightly above that platform. Cool.
Alright,
There we go. Okay.
I'm gonna try and climb up this way.
Okay.
Theodore is going the more obvious route that it seems like it's going to require less climb.
Just up
Actually-
these, what I'm assuming are ladders.
I'm going to wild shape into a giant, like latch on to the pole, if that's possible, and then turn into a giant lizard.
Okay.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
Do you have a limit on wild shapes? I can't remember.
2 a day, or 2 short rests.
Okay.
Is this a ladder? This right here at the bottom of this platform?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to be taking this route because it is the route that requires 0 climbing.
I do suppose you can't really climb much, so.
It's difficult, yes.
Okay, hold up here before you go on.
I don't know where here is.
I mean,
And
don't
initiative
don't
for fight
move yet.
doesn't end the evening.
Cool.
Pretty much.
I figure turning into an animal that has a climb speed might be helpful.
I can see how that'd be beneficial.
Yeah. Screw checks. Get there.
Okay. I need.
How do I get rid of this thing I drew?
Click on the pointer over on the left side, select
Uh-huh.
move, then and click on the thing that you drew and hit delete.
Sounds like Chris is rolling us a random encounter.
What?
That did
I'm
not
not.
work.
Why would you think that?
12 griffins burst into the water.
When you have the cursor, you can try and highlight the whole thing.
12 griffins.
Hit delete. Don't get yourself in there too.
Ah, got it. All right.
There you go.
Can you not
I said
climb
to
ladders
zoom
very
in.
well either?
I mean, ladder's not too hard to climb three-handed. I mean, have you ever climbed up a ladder with paint?
Ilferi.
For initiative?
No. 17
Oh.
versus AC.
Oh, that's different.
Oh, shit.
Am I a lizard?
If you said you were turning into a lizard, so yes, I would think so.
I wasn't sure if I had a chance to turn into a lizard yet or not.
By the point that you climb up on the dock.
Oh, okay, so I am just on the dock. Yeah, absolutely. I have an AC of 12 as a lizard.
All right. You might not be a lizard for long then.
Turns out,
It's
feathers.
a big lizard. Actually, I'm large size right now.
Oh, so it's like a Komodo
yeah.
dragon, more.
No, I am a large lizard. Giant
Oh, okay,
lizard.
okay. You're
so
going
you're
to
actually
take.
taking up a lot of space.
Yes, I thought I was a medium-sized lizard, but I am in fact a large-sized lizard.
All right. Well, you're going to take 7 damage.
Okay, yeah, I can take that.
7 large damage.
And
Oh wow.
and you're going to be attacked a second time. Wow, it's a 22 to hit.
Oof.
Man, it's really on the other
19 on
end
the
of
die.
second attack.
Well, okay, so you take 4 more damage. What happens is this thing appears in front of you as it swiped
Ooh.
at you with shadowy hands.
Oof.
Spooky. I'm trying to make myself large, or at least give myself a large token. I'm not sure how though.
Click your token, and then you can use the
I
little
can-
boxes.
I can rotate it.
Size it up.
Why can't I control your tokens? Select your
No,
tokens.
no. Also, yeah, we can't affect the size of our tokens. We can only move them.
Yeah, but I can't actually select. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer.
That would be-
Oh, I do that all the time.
There. Giant bird.
Big bird.
Big bird.
Hey guys.
What is that supposed to be? I don't know. So yeah, that thing appears at you, next to you, slashes at you, and you feel a.
Does it look ghostly or just spiky?
It looks shadowy,
Okay.
and you also get hit with a shot from a pistol.
Ow.
And with that, you notice a man at the top of the cave entrance who shouts down at you, "You killed all my men, you dirt worshippers! That wasn't enough. Now you want me dead as well?"
I can't really
do you
articulate
recognize
much.
this man?
You do not. And I'm gonna go ahead and have you guys roll initiative.
Okay. I have a 19.
Initiative.
And while we're setting up combat, I'm going to go AFK for just 1 second to feed the dog.
15. I'm gonna get some more water.
At turn. At turn. At turn. Roll.
So what are you doing?
This is a family stream. I
We
think.
have family.
How do you think families are made, Redbeard?
Also, I'd like to know if there's another. Once again, there's a kitty boy back deal.
Yeah, he likes to curl up in the background while we play.
I think this is the first stream that I've been on where Lemmy's asshole is not in the camera at some point.
Give it a second.
I'm back. How many people died while I was gone?
Everyone actually is dead.
I died 3 times, actually.
That's good. That's good.
He
Well, at
died
least
as the
everyone.
lizard, as the bird, and then as the lizard again.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Not quite in that order, but yeah.
All right,
Was it
Theodore.
like lizard, bird, or...
Yeah, lizard, bird.
Zeodor.
Wait, I'm first? Oh, shit.
No, I'm asking for your initiative.
Oh, 16.
Thank you.
I said that before I left.
Well, I wasn't listening then. Mina.
8.
Ilferi.
19.
Jack.
15.
All right. The man at the top of the cave is...
Yes, mine. 15.
Already gave it.
Yep. Thank you.
He gave it to you, and then he thinks that I didn't. Like,
He's going to... you notice he has 2 golden circle like medallions hanging from his neck, and he's going to pull one of them out and like hold it in front of him, and when he does, a wall of stone appears in front of him, and he's going to shoot at I'm gonna roll a d4.
Can he shoot through the wall of stone?
No, he's like stepping out from behind it to shoot.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna shoot at Jack.
Chris, just so you know, we can see that stat block.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter that much. It's not showing up on the stream anyway.
Cool. Guy up there is shooting at me.
Yeah. He misses though, and then he's gonna duck behind this wall.
What is this that's in front of him?
This is a stone wall.
Stonewall.
No, the other thing that's in front of him.
This thing.
This.
Oh, this thing. This appears to be a rock monster.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
Also, there's a rock monster.
It seems to be a being, or like a humanoid shape made out of stone.
Oh, it's not lobster shaped?
Nope.
Sad. Missed opportunity.
Elferi, it is your
Paper
turn.
Tiger.
I'm going to bite that thing
Okay.
that hit me.
All right.
So, +4 to hit. 16?
That will hit.
Cool.
All that makes me think of is golems. They're the veganism of necromancy.
4 piercing damage.
All right. Where's 4?
Mhm.
Okay.
Does it seem to hit him all the way?
It definitely feels like you're biting at shadow.
Oh, well, I'm gonna climb here. I have a 30-foot climb speed, so...
Okay, so
I'll go.
you'll take an attack of op from that?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a 16 to hit.
You got me.
11 shattered, or
Slashing.
no,
Necrotic?
no, I guess it is psychic damage.
Okay.
Gross.
Cool. I'm still a lizard.
Ow,
Cool.
my brain.
Is that your turn then?
Yeah, I just need to check something really quick. Oh, neat. I could do that while I'm a lizard. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, hit me.
Theodore.
I don't think so.
Let's see. Going up a ladder, it's 5 feet of movement per 5 feet I go up the ladder.
I'd always thought of it as difficult terrain.
Okay.
I think climbing actually has special rules, because there's a rogue archetype that does climbing. I'll look it up real quick. It's double speed. Yeah, it is considered.
Okay,
it's double
cool.
speed, but can also be difficult terrain.
Okay, gotcha. But this is a ladder, so it's not going to also be difficult.
Yeah.
All right. So
Makes sense
that
to me.
it costs 30 feet of movement to get up that ladder, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I'm saying. Okay. So I know I'm going to be using my bonus action to dash. So I've got 60 feet of movement, so 35. This ladder here, or this bridge connector horizontal thingy, is this difficult terrain?
I believe so, yes. Ladder stretched horizontally, can be crawled across safely or walked with a successful acrobatics check.
Okay, so I can go safely at half speed, or at full speed. I can take a check to try to do full speed.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I've got just enough movement to get across if I go full speed. So I'm gonna go. You said acrobatics?
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna go for it.
Dexterity acrobatics.
That is a 13.
That's a pass.
Woo! I get to here on my bonus action. And 1, 2, 3.
All right, I'm gonna point out something as you're going by this white stone pillar, because something catches your eye.
Okay. Do I see it from here? Because this is where I'm stopping this round.
Yes.
Okay.
If I can find where it is. Oh, okay. Dramatic pillar of white marble extrudes from the gray stone, 5 feet wide, rising 17 feet above the water. Ages of surf have eroded the surface, but in places you can still see ancient pictogram carvings. It looks like the splinter was part of a larger column, but something snapped free its top. You don't see the missing section of the pillar. In a tiny nook carved into the tip of the marble splinter sits an oversized gold coin, about 3 inches across. It is primitive designs of birds, clouds, and dots that might represent stars.
Okay. How high up is that compared to me?
It's within, or let's see, it's in the 17 feet above water, and you're 10 feet up, so 7 feet off the ground.
Okay.
Within arm's reach.
Okay. I will consider that for later rounds. For now, I'm going to use my act to throw a dart at the shaft.
Okay.
It's in my long range, so I roll with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Cool. The lower is an 8 plus 5 is a 13 versus 8.
That will hit.
Oh, sweet. I wasn't really expecting to hit. I don't have an ally within 5 feet, so I don't get sneak attack. But I do deal max damage.
Cut out there.
7 points of damage.
All right. It does seem to kind of penetrate into the shadowy mists of the being a little bit, but doesn't seem to fully affect it.
Cool. Zeodore runs across the ladder, pulls out a dart, and whips it at a shadow, and somehow...
Cool.
I'm cool with this.
Jack.
I was really just trying to distract.
Yes.
It is your turn.
So it's going to take 30 feet of movement to get up that ladder. So I'm going to move up here. And... yeah, I've got the shot on that shadow, so I'm going to pull out the runic pistol. And runes are going to glow red, and as the hammer falls, a bolt of fire is going to leap out of it.
All right.
And that's going to be a 24 versus AC.
That will hit.
4 damage.
All right.
Of fire.
Yeah, the fire also doesn't seem to fully latch onto this shadow. It seems to slough off most of the attack.
Okay, that was just what I figured I could do this time, because he's got a stone wall in front of him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then that's it for me this turn.
All right.
Well, you could end your turn on the ladder, right? Couldn't you move 10 feet up the wall?
I suppose I could.
Yeah, you can move up it as much as you can.
Cool. So I'll be... yeah, 12 feet up the ladder.
All right. Next is the shadow creature. Perfect.
That's never good to hear.
So Zeodore, the shadow will take a swipe at you.
Yep.
Believe that will be a miss. 9 to hit.
That does miss, yes.
Zeodore's
AC is actually pretty good. I got hit a lot last time, but motherfuckers kept rolling 22s. Like,
yeah, I got a lot of really good rolls last time. And then I have to figure out what this means.
oh, that's not good.
Yeah, that's never
What
good.
does kill mean?
It says destroy completely, both bodily and spiritually.
Okay,
I'm not
I found it.
sure.
I found it.
Terrain levels.
I found it. Okay, jeez, calm down. So this creature made of stone is going to...
Oh, okay, got it. The other thing is moving. Sorry, I thought something was still happening with...
Nah.
I'm caught up now. I'm fine.
He's going to pick up a barrel and chuck it.
He can.
Yeah, pretty much. He's gonna chuck it at Ilferi, at the lizard.
Liz Fairy.
Is the barrel blue?
Blue-doo-doo. Blue-doo-doo. That's a pretty
Fairy,
good
jump over it.
19.
Yeah, I have 12.
You didn't jump over it.
So you get hit with a cask of lantern oil that explodes as it hits you. Dealing... Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, so the barrel hits you and deals... Sorry. The barrel hits you, it deals 10 damage.
Holy shit!
And then it explodes and deals 2 more fire damage.
Okay, I am a bird man again. I only had 1 hit point left of Blizzard.
Oh, okay.
So I'm medium sized. I'll be in the top left corner of myself. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
Shrink there. and be on fire.
And then it'll be Mina's turn.
Are you okay, like, emotionally after that?
I be seeing better days.
All right, Mina.
I would like to take 2 shots at the shadowy figure.
All right.
Are there shooting into melee rules?
I could impose a +2 AC advantage if there's a creature between her and the target.
Okay.
It's basically cover.
Yeah.
Which is what the archery thing offsets.
Yes.
Basically.
The sniper feat. Yeah.
Oh no, I
13
meant
to hit with my primary weapon.
Okay, that will actually miss.
Okay.
Because of the disadvantage here. You're like almost like just as you're about to fire, Zeodor like steps into where you're gonna shoot, so you have to aim off a bit.
And 19 to hit with my secondary.
That one will hit.
Alright.
I just meant the archery fighting style gives you a +2, which offsets the minus.
Oh. I see what you're saying.
11 damage.
All right. All right. That is it for you, I presume.
Yep.
All right. It is back to the mysterious yelling man's turn. He is going to... I think he's just gonna fire his gun at you guys. Yeah, so I'll take bonus action to reload, and then action to fire. We'll step out. Oh, that's the number.
The number moves. Now that wall is there.
Seeing that Mina has firearms, he's gonna shoot down at her.
Pitiful.
Where did his...
What, 15, 16?
Where did I put his stats?
14?
There they
14. Right. Yeah.
Right, he's...
Studded there's only 12 plus, not 13 plus.
Alright. 18 to hit.
Yes.
For one of these plus dexterity. Sorry, it gave me like a base monster stat with modifications, so it's a like I have to look at both.
Yeah.
Which is annoying. 10 damage.
Okay.
That was one less than max damage, so. And then he's gonna snap back behind his wall. Ilfari.
Am I still on fire?
No, that was just a like explosion.
You just did fire damage. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Fairy Fire, targeting both of them.
Ooh.
Let me just double check my distance. How do I go? Yep. So I'm gonna, even with the elevation, it's gonna be a 20-foot cube centered, like here. So,
Okay.
Oh, I want to target the corner. Whatever. Yeah. So both of them make me dexterity saving throws.
All right. Wow. Good job,
Did
guys.
they both fail?
No, they both passed. Even the the earth creature that has a -2 to his dexterity got a 14. If that's...
Motherfucker. The DC is 13.
Aww. Do you still get something out of it, or? By the way, these are great DM dice.
No.
What are they?
In fact, they are completely unaffected. Like, all unattended objects are glowing, like, greenish. But they dodged the effect.
Okay.
They are not outlined, and nobody has advantage attacking them.
Bom bom.
I would like to have advantage attacking things. That would be
That is
helpful.
why I prepare
specifically.
Fairy Fire. It gives advantage to attack targets. Shoot. Well, I'm gonna move, like... Oops. I'm gonna move.
As far as you
Here.
can.
I'm actually moving here, like, trying to get cover.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. I remember this encounter from the last time you ran this campaign. It kicked our asses then.
I think you guys are doing pretty good.
Oh, actually, I'll... How much does a greater healing? 44 plus 4?
Ooh, let me look.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sweet.
Let's see... 2, 4, 6, 8, 12... Am I down 12? No, not worth it. I'm done.
Alright. Next is Zeodor.
Well, there's this shadowy motherfucker up in my face, and I would like him to not.
Seems like
I don't
a
know.
personal problem.
Do you have a cease and desist for him?
I mean, I've got two basic options here. One of which is try to fight this man.
Mm-hmm.
Option 2 is run away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like an option 2. Let me see something real quick.
All right.
I can go 5, 6, 20, 25, 30. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're going to do that. I'm going to go bonus action disengage.
Mm-hmm. Go sneak up behind him.
Action,
Somebody was
interact with
joining.
object, grab the coin.
Okay.
Movement.
Before you, as you grab the coin, a couple of things happen.
Okay.
One of which is you become aware of this floating in the cave above you.
Oh, that's like up in the air?
Uh-huh.
And what is it, Precious?
It seems to be a humanoid form made of swirling winds.
Fucking air elemental.
And well, I think we'll discover the other surprises as they come.
Yeah, but I'm going to pocket the coin. Actually, I would like to sleight of hand to pocket the coin as subtly as possible.
Oh, like as you're running past?
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
I'm
cool.
basically like jumping off this wall because I'm disengaging also. So I'm basically like jumping off this wall.
Yeah.
Like jump kicking off this wall to get around him, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to snag the coin as I'm running by.
Sounds great.
That's a 22.
for the sleight of hand.
Correct.
All right. Sounds pretty good to me.
And then I need to roll for the acrobat. That's a 23 acrobatics for the ladder.
Yeah, you do a somersault as you run by. Actually,
I think in addition to kicking off this wall, I just do a complete flip off of this wall and land on the ladder.
Sounds fair.
Coin in pocket, sword out.
Do a little like dancer, like ha.
That's my turn, though.
All right.
I knew a pirate like that once. He got eaten by sharks, but very acrobatic about it.
The
Not
creature,
the pirate.
the humanoid shape of air that was above your head swoops down and like bashes into the shadow form.
Sweet!
I'm into it.
And after he does, like, the shadow just like dissipates and like swirls back into like nothing and disappears.
Yay!
Awesome.
Can everyone see the air elemental?
Yes.
Okay.
So everyone can see it?
Yes.
Sweet, okay.
Avalona be praised.
Jack,
Yes.
it is your turn.
I'm
You're
going to use
most of the way up that
technical
ladder.
to get to finish getting up there, and then 1, 2. Can I get a shot at the golem?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got range. I got range for days. 23
this is-
versus AC. Sorry, 22 versus AC.
Yeah, that'll hit.
This is also a bridge, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Doesn't actually mention that thing, but it certainly looks like one.
Burning runes ignite along the pistol, and I loose a firebolt that does 9 damage.
All right. Oh wait, or is this? Oh. A pair of ropes stretched between two sides of the scaffolding. That's what that must be. So you could, with another good acrobatics or athletics, make it across there.
Okay. I was hoping it was a more direct bridge in case anyone that didn't have a +5 to acrobatics wanted to try it out.
Yeah, sorry I didn't point that out sooner. Okay, how much did you do, Jack?
9.
All right. A little chunk of rock shoots off of it. Then next would be the earth creature, who's going to pick up another barrel and chuck it at Jack.
Range.
It'll be long range. 16.
On the dot.
All right. He rolled a 13 and an 18. These are good dice.
I was hoping for a sploosh.
Sploosh. Kaboom!
Kaboom!
It's literally like a fucking theme park. Like,
Yeah.
water.
Is that from
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker, that's it.
Jack, you take 6 damage as the barrel hits you. And then you and Mina each take 1 fire damage as the barrel explodes.
Oof. I got hit pretty hard by that.
Mina,
In
your go.
comparison to what they took.
Alright, so I'm gonna use my 30 feet. I'm just
Was that it?
Yeah, I think yours was near
Amazing.
max, James.
Yeah,
30
it seemed like it.
feet to get up here. I am standing here.
Yep.
I do not appreciate that. I am going to shoot at the golem.
All right.
Pew pew.
With my primary weapon, that's 24 to hit, and with my
Yup.
secondary weapon, that's 25 to hit.
Yup.
Yay, she hit something!
I hit something last time too.
Yeah, with her
roll
offhand.
both.
Fuck you. And 10 for each, so 20 damage total.
All right. It's a pretty good hit.
Finally,
You can do something.
I did something.
You did something. All right. Next is the man. He's just. I think at this point he'll shoot at Elfari because. Or no, Elfari, you're kind of behind that wall there.
Yeah.
I think
Theodore,
I'm the most exposed.
did you jump into the water or?
No, I'm on the ladder.
Okay. Then yeah, he's gonna fire at you. So that is an 11 to hit.
Miss.
This is as you're finishing your flip and you like fly
Yeah.
through your hitbox.
Perfect. All right, then it will be back to Ilfari.
Okay. I think I'm gonna take my action to turn into a lizard again.
All right.
Mostly because having 19 extra hit points is pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, part of why Druid is ridiculously powerful.
So let me give myself 19 temp hit points again. And now I have a climb speed of 30, so 5, 10, up. See, that's 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yep. Seems fair. So that,
Okay.
but yeah, that thing is a crane, so you can walk underneath that.
Cool. So am I within range to attack? Yeah, it's actually the exact
you're right
same
next
level.
to
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna bite it.
Okay.
Oh, no, I
you
can't.
size class large now?
I am
Oh,
size
yeah, you
class
are.
large. And also I can't bite it. I took
Because
the
you took your action
turn
to
into a lizard.
you're not that kind of druid. Me not that kind of druid.
I thought about it. Yeah.
All
That
right.
was
I mean-
when this race was going to be a magical accident and not a naturally occurring thing.
Yeah.
You could also go Biter and get Action Surge and do it.
All right, Zeodor.
Okay. So 15 acrobatics check to continue ignoring the difficult terrain on the ladder.
Mm-hmm. You actually don't even you feel like you can just almost glide across. It feels like walking on solid ground practically to go across that ladder.
Oh,
You feel
interesting.
very fleet of foot.
Huh. Oh, okay. Interesting.
You're just
I will have
that
time to
scene in the
explore this
elevator
later.
from Big Little China.
But I'm going to continue up the ladder. Action to dash, because let's see, that's 15-foot difference. Says 1, 2, 3, 30. 1, 2,
It takes
3.
it's gonna take you normal movement speed to get up that ladder.
Okay. I spent my action to dash.
All right.
So basically, my dash was consumed by the ladder.
All right.
And bonus action. I'm going to take bonus action to aid other on to aid Ilfari,
Mhm.
because I can aid an ally within 30 feet as a bonus action as long as I am aiding them to attack.
All right.
So you have advantage on your next attack roll. Zeodor comes up.
So good.
I I took care of the shadows. Go get them.
Fight, you good man, fight!
I don't know what sound lizards make, but that seems pretty accurate.
Yeah, that's at least pretty close. The air creature is going to fly over and, very similarly to how he treated the shadow being, is going to dash into the earth creature. But the earth creature seems unaffected and is just like takes the hit.
It's not very effective.
What an asshole.
Not very effective.
Jack.
Okay, so continuing across. If I fail my acrobatics check, do I fall?
Believe so. It is pretty treacherous.
And I'm just gonna 1, 2, 3, take another firebolt shot at the golem.
All right.
Crit.
Ooh!
Woo!
What
Yay!
happens when you crit on a spell attack?
You just double the random component, which is all there is in this case.
Ah, fuck. Well, better than nothing. 9 damage.
All right. This is a firebolt.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Your fires consume the creature, and it crumples to dust, which kind of swirls away and vanishes.
Can it like core it?
I'm sorry.
Like it blasts out like the core of it.
Yeah. That sounds cool. So why not? All right. Mina.
Woo!
The hostile, strange creatures are taken care of, and all that seems to be left is this man who's hiding behind a wall of rock.
Let's beat him up so we can yell at him next session.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm gonna try and like cram myself into the corner there.
Okay.
I
So that
cannot
you-
get shot again. And I'm gonna be like, we're not here for you!
Say it in your accent.
That's about all I got. I don't really have an accent.
Do
I'll
you,
figure it out eventually.
of note, do you have a Denoran accent?
I mean, a little bit. Not crazy. Because she tried to drop it when she moved to Flint.
Okay.
It'll come out every once in a while, but she...
Mm-hmm.
No. Very little.
Okay.
One less thing to get picked on for.
Well, he does kind of like kind of peek out, and like like if you're like poking your head out to look at him,
Yeah.
he catches your eye, and he kind of like stutters for a second and goes in a distinctly Denoran accent. Who are you?
I'm Mina. This is
Are you part of the
Jack.
Duchess's extermination?
If by Duchess's extermination you mean here to exterminate the Duchess, fuck yeah!
You're not here from Monsieur to kill everyone who lives here?
No, we are here for Monsieur, but she's a dick. She tried to kill her brother, and we're kind of the task force here to get her back.
Zeodor is going to speak in a Denoran accent,
Mhm.
and say, technically, we are here to apprehend her.
Lizard nod.
The accent thing is not something you've seen Zeodor do before.
Well,
But he's just speaking in an accent, so it's
you
not
should
that
have spoken sooner.
Ow! Didn't you hear my Denarin fucking owl?
Look, there was a lot going on at the time.
Ow!
It was kind of hard to parse.
I'm gonna turn back into regular Ilfairy.
And with that, we'll... Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was a bit preoccupied, lacking vocal cords.
Well, you're certainly not Denarin.
I actually be from these isles. Well, not this isle, but you know, these isles-ish.
Well,
To be absolutely fair, neither am I, but
For-
I've spoken with plenty.
he's still kind of like training his gun on each of you as you speak in turn. But he's definitely not like he's not shooting you, so that's a plus.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to move forward onto the thing.
Mhm.
Does he shoot me? I
No.
still have my sword out, but does he shoot me?
No, if you're why are you
I can't make myself small.
but why did you rotate? Okay.
Because he can spin himself.
Well,
Yep, we can do that.
why don't you tell me what exactly is going on, and we can go from there. And with
so
that,
shall we
we'll-
inform him off camera?
Yeah, we'll wrap up there for tonight.
No, we'll just do it next session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like talking
Next
to people.
time.
On
Next time
Dungeon
on
and
Zeitgeist Z.
Is it
Uh,
KrakenQuest Z? KrakenQuest Z for Zeitgeist?
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I did Dungeons and Z. Dungeons and Zeitgeist.
All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed their show tonight. I know I certainly did.
Yeah, no show for me tomorrow. I'm taking the night off. Carter, are you doing something?
I might be. It depends on if I have time to get things set up between work and when I would be streaming. So stay tuned,
Cool.
because I haven't streamed from home. I'll be streaming from home. If I am, I haven't done that before, so setup is a question.
Cool.
Cool.
And then I'll be playing, I'll be starting, I finished Kingdom Hearts 3, so I'll be starting Sekiro Shadows Die Twice on Thursday with RB Plays.
Yeah,
Did
another
you-
game I want to play, so I can't watch you play.
Did you do the side stuff and everything?
I might pop in.
For Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
Not all of it. I mean,
Hasn't the man suffered enough?
yeah,
No,
I
was just
might
curious
go
how
back and
far
do
you
some of
got.
that off stream. Chat convinced
Did you
me to
end
go
up
and
doing the
make an
Ultimate
attempt.
Blade?
I did make the Ultimate Blade. And chat convinced me to make an attempt at the boss that you can find after you finish the game. But I didn't beat it.
Okay.
I spent
I was just
20
curious,
minutes on it.
What side stuff you did before you went to the last boss?
Well, Ultimate Blade I did the Ultimate Blade stuff offline, but that was the Lucky Emblems, that was several of the dumb mini games, and lots of synthesis farming. So
Lots of suffering.
yeah. All right. So yeah.
Alright.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.